Welcome to Walk Around Talk with Jamie. Today, actually November 2nd, this is actually episode 9 of our show that we were supposed to, um, that was going to be, that was going to be done on Friday, but because of the snowstorm here in the Northeast, we did today and we're gonna try to produce 2 podcasts this week. This week, we're going to talk about current events in sport. Speaking of current events, we would like to congratulate 31 schools in Connecticut that got national recognition for their inclusion practices, ranking among the highest in the United States. Also, congratulations go out to our friend Abby Snyder for becoming a Connecticut Global Messenger and House Leader for Special Olympics. Way to go, Abby. We now present our stat of the week. Did you know that Americans in 2020 will spend around $8.5 billion on Halloween this year? That's a lot of money. And if it was my choice, I would probably, if my mom allowed me to eat that much candy, I would probably end up on 700-pound life. Before our rant of the week begins, we will be providing you an update on cycling. Last week we talked about the Tour of Italy and the Tour of Spain. The Tour of Spain finally ends this weekend in Madrid. Next weekend in this coming weekend. I got it right. As soon as the tour ends, we will keep in touch with you all about results on next week's episode in 2 weeks. Now with our most anticipated segment, we present our rant of the week. Our rant of the week is dealing with wrestling. I know, it's sports entertainment, but I've been a fan for my whole life, so it's tough to get out of it. But I'm officially done with it. Specifically, All Elite Wrestling. They started about a year ago as a new brand of wrestling, and they've had their ups and downs, but generally they've been entertaining. Last week there was two segments that had me scratching my head. You have the two biggest bad guys in the industry, the MJF and Chris Jericho, doing a comedy song and dance number that made them look foolish. You also have a women's wrestler who has turned heel, babyface, then back to heel, with no exception why. This is it with All Elite Wrestling for me. Our team of the week this week is the Killingly Girls Varsity Soccer. After seeing them on the front page of the Hartford Courant, we knew we had to finish. We knew we had to feature them. Their record stands at 4-1, with their only loss going to Woodstock Academy on October 6th. Very impressive. The team is coached by Jim Lacker. Their next game is Tuesday, November 3rd at home versus Parish Hill at 6 p.m. We wish them luck in the rest of their season. Although we don't have a quote of the week, we do want to mention some numbers. This week, my diet will be 1% normal food and 99% Halloween food. This is where the joke of on my 700-pound life is supposed to be. My favorite is Reese's. When we're talking about regular food, I like wings and just saw a video this week on how they made wings for their players in the bubble, in the NBA favorite, in the NBA bubble. What's your favorite? Let me know on my Facebook page. We have a very special segment this week called Sign of the Apocalypse. The English Football League has agreed to a 3-year sponsorship deal with pizza chain Papa John to remain their second-tier trophy competition after the pizza chain. That's the sign of the apocalypse because, well, Papa John's was associated with John, who I know they denounced him and off the board, but he's still on the commercials. Moving on to the best and worst of sports this week. The best this week is Game 4 of the World Series. It was back and forth and came down to an error by Mookie Betts. The winning base runner almost didn't make it as he fell rounding third coming home and almost didn't score. In the end, the Dodgers won the first World Series in 23 years. Can you ever imagine? Well, we can imagine because it was 87 years for the Red Sox, and they've won a couple since. So, but that is a long time. Congratulations on the World Series title. The worst in sports this week is South African rugby pulling out of the Rugby Championship tournament because of COVID-19 travel restrictions. The national team has not played since winning the Rugby World Cup last year. We are excited to see them, but we are confident we will next year. Next week, we will be giving you a review of the Breeders' Cup in horse racing. We're really excited changing up the pace around here. For our next week's reminder, we are streaming on Thunder, Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. We also have our own YouTube channel. Please be sure to give us a shout out about whether platform you love listening to us on and leave us a great review. It will help us move up the chart. Next week, we probably will have a special guest from the Paralympic movement, which is really exciting. And so with that, look for us on Friday. Stay classy, sports fans.